it's Christy and Betsy again, and we're going to go through a short lesson because one of our biggest things that teachers ask is,
can I see the whole lesson from start to finish?
I need a video, right?
So we're going to give you a video.
Okay, so we're going to start first with a review of the letters that we've already taught. So I'm just going to pretend that that we're just starting in a review place, and so you'll see how the lesson goes. I have my blending board, and Betsy is just going to give me the sound as I put my hand over it, hand over the card, and she's just going to say the sound.
Please rest assured that I do know all of my sounds, but I will make a few mistakes so you can see how Christy corrects me. K. Ah. Ah. Duh.
Okay, let's go back and look at this one. What sound does this make again?
Duh.
So I'm going to put this one aside, and we'll talk about that one in just a minute, so let's just go on.
G. Oh.
All right, so let's go back to this letter. This is the letter D, Betsy. And let's see if we can remember some things from our sound tub whenever we covered the letter D. So think back in your head whenever you see that D sound tub. And I had a drum in there. So what were some of the other things?
Dog.
Okay, dog. What else?
Dragon. Donkey.
Door. So if I'm saying all of those things that you said, what's the beginning sound that I hear in D? Dog.
Dog. D. D. D.
So let's look at it again. So D says, watch me. D.
D. D. D.
Good job. So again, we're going to review our letter sounds with our cards.
O. G. D.
Good job.
Ah. Ah. K.
Good job, Betsy. So this was the visual drill with drilling students with letter cards and sounds. We're going to go on next to sound symbol practice with sand. So Betsy, if you would take out your sand. And in the sand, we're only going to review letters that we've already taught. So I'm just going to keep my cards with me, so it's my thinking part, and I'm going to give them to Betsy, all right? So Betsy, do you remember our procedure for sand?
Yes,
Okay.
I make the letter from top to bottom.
Right?
Then I underline it and say it.
Correct. Now, if I give you the sound, do you have to make the sound so I know that you're making the sound correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so let's practice one.
K. K. C says K.
Good job. Ah.
Ah. O says ah.
D.
D. Drum and drumstick. D says D.
Good job. G.
G. G says G.
Mm.
M says
O.
O. L says O. H says
Ah.
ah. A says ah.
Good job. So that's the sound drill. Some misconceptions with the sound drill is that teachers forget to have the students say the sound. So if we're doing it whole group in a classroom, and if I said ah, I didn't show everybody the card, but I'm just showing you. If I said ah, and everybody just started writing, some of my students might not know what to write because they haven't practiced or they didn't hear it correctly in the classroom with so much noise going on. So, can we take that away later on? Yes. But in the beginning, I would definitely make sure that they say the sound right after. All right? So, the next step on our lesson plan for Recipe for Reading is that we're going to use the blending board. So I have my blending board right here for Betsy. And I'm going to put my cards on here, and we're going to have Betsy blend some words. And a misconception that teachers have is that they just start waving their hand over the cards. So we want to be very mindful about holding your hand over the card and making sure you're going left to right and you're blending and saying the word. All right? So Betsy, let's see if we can make some words.
Ag. Mag.
Good job.
Ag. Hag. Ag. Lag. Og. Dog. Odd. Dod.
Is that a real word or a nonsense word?
I've not ever heard anybody use the word Dodd.
So for this part of it, we know that on the blending board, we're going to have students who, there's going to be some real words and there's going to be some nonsense words. And the real concept behind this is just knowing that they can say the sounds and blend it together and say real or not real words. All right?
Dumb.
So, do you think that is a real word or a nonsense word?
I think it's nonsense.
I have heard it used as a nickname for someone whose name was Dominic, and they called him Dom, but we don't know a lot of Dominics, so we're just going to say it's a nonsense word.
I don't know anybody named that.
No? Okay. All right, so that's how the blending drill goes. It is holding your hand over, hearing the sound, and then going back and blending it together. Okay, the next part in our lesson plan is vowel tense. And vowel tense have some specific rules, and I made these, and these are my vowel tense that I'm using for reading group, but Betsy could possibly make hers and have them in a bag on her desk. It just depends on the procedure that you're going to use in your classroom and how systematic you're going to be with making them for your kids and just handing them out in practice, or if they're going to have their own. All right, so these are mine, and I've put them in front of Betsy, and so we're reviewing Betsy O and A. The vowel tense have the letter on both sides, so there's no confusion. All right, so here's the procedure. I'm going to give you a word. I want you to say the word, and then I want you to hold up the vowel tent. All right?
Okay.
So let's practice. Apple.
Apple.
And then what does A say?
Ah.
All right, so whenever you hold up the vowel tent, she's going to say A says ah.
A says ah.
Good job. So let's go on to the next one. Alligator.
Alligator. A says ah.
Octopus.
Octopus. O says ah.
Now we're going to go on, and instead of the beginning sound that you hear, which is tied to phonemic awareness, we're going to go on and see if we can hear that letter in a word. The word is rat.
Rat. A says ah.
Good job. Hot.
Hot. O says ah.
Cat.
Cat. A says ah.
Good job. So that's how the vowel tent goes. You only, in the beginning, because our first vowel that we introduce with the new alphabet for recipe for reading is O, we would only do O. And I would tie those to beginning sounds first with the sound tubs, and then I would put O in the medial place in words. So O first, and then when we add on, after I've taught A, then we can do 2. And then it goes right on with the recipe for reading new alphabet, and you could have 3 next, 4, and then all your vowels will be out. So now we're going to go over in the lesson with red words. This red word has already been taught. So I'm going to see if Betsy remembers it.
The.
Good job. Now, if Betsy did not remember the red word, I would prompt her to arm tap the red word the. So let's go over and show them how to arm tap the.
Okay.
All right? So Betsy is right-handed. So the hand that you write with, you automatically hold something, and this is the hand that you're going to tap with. All right, so Betsy, you're going to tap the word the, but you have a visual cue to look at, so you're spelling it properly.
Okay. T-H-E, the. T-H-E, the. T-H-E, the.
Good job.
Okay.
So now I want to make sure that Betsy knows how to write this word also. This is a misconception that teachers have. So do I have to have them do the screen again if we've already learned the in the past and they can write it? No, you don't have to do all that procedure again. You can, and you don't have to write it. If you've kind of assessed your students and you know where they are, then don't go back and do that writing part of it. Because sooner or later you're going to have many sight words and it would take a lot of time to get through that. All right? Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some finger tapping,
Okay.
okay, of CVC words. And these CVC words came directly from the Recipe for Reading book. All right, so I'm using my lesson plan. I know exactly what words from the book. You can also get those words from your binder, many different places in the binder, from the small group fluency lesson plan. But if you forget and you haven't taken a lot of time to gather things before and you're just doing it on the fly, grab your book and they're right here for you. All right? So, Betsy, are you ready to do some finger tapping practice? Just
Ready.
to see if I remember and you remember the procedure. So, here's the procedure. I'm going to give you the word, and then you're going to say the word, and then you're going to tap it out, and then you're going to write it. All right? So, Betsy's just going to pretend that she's writing it. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. The word is ham.
Am. Ham.
Okay.
Am.
Ham. The next one is hog.
Og. Hog. Og. Hog.
Mom.
Mom. Mom.
Am.
Am.
Lag.
Ooh. Ag. Lag. Ooh. Ag. Lag.
So that is the procedure for tapping out CVC words.